Welcome back to Inside the Storm podcast, your home for everything Carolina Hurricanes. I'm your host, Jackson Parks, and today we're diving into one of the most intriguing storylines this season on how Alexander Nikishin has adapted to life in Carolina. He came over with a ton of hype, one of the top defensemen outside the NHL. He's dominating in the KHL, or he was dominating in the KHL. And Hurricanes fans were wondering, can his game translate from the KHL in Russia all the way over here in North America in the NHL? And it's never a guarantee. The KHL and NHL are completely different beasts. Smaller ice, faster pace, more physical play. It's a huge adjustment. But honestly, early returns have been pretty impressive. What stands out to me is how quickly Nikishin has adapted defensively. He's not just surviving, he's contributing. Just like his fight in Chicago, where, yes, it was a very heavy-weighted match, or lopsided match, because Nikishin's way bigger than the guy he fought. But just the way he stood up and the way he just contributes every single night for this Hurricanes team shows that he has a lot of commitment to this team and this team only. Because he's laying solid, good hits every game. Every night, he's there and he's contributing. And his positioning has been really solid. That's usually the hardest thing to adjust, especially in a system like Carolina's under Rod Brind'Amour, where structure is everything. And let's talk about that system for a second. The Hurricanes rely heavily on aggressive forechecking and defensemen jumping into the play. Nikishin fits that mold perfectly. Just like he now has the most goals by a rookie defenseman in franchise history with, I believe, 10 now. He got his first career shorthanded goal against the Columbus Blue Jackets on Thursday night. And he is now tied with Jamie McBain for, I believe, 30 points. 30 points in a single rookie season in franchise history. And he really does. He's got that physical edge, too. He's not afraid to step up, throw hits, and clear the crease. Something Carolina has needed more of at times. Offensively, I think we're just scratching the surface. In the KHL, he was putting up serious numbers from the blue line. Yeah, and you can see flashes of that. His shot is heavy. He's got one of the hardest shots currently in the NHL, and it's only his rookie season. Imagine how hard a shot it's going to be. Like when he's a veteran or when he's just in his prime. Just imagine how great he's going to be offensively and defensively. His shot is heavy, and he's not shy about using it. Once he gets more comfortable, I wouldn't be surprised to see his point production take off. Another thing is his confidence with the puck. You don't see a young defenseman come in and look this poised under pressure. He's making smart outlet passes, not panicking, and that's a huge for a team that thrives on quick transition. Of course, that hasn't been perfect because nobody's perfect. Look at Connor McDavid. I mean, he's not perfect. Nathan McKinnon, he's not perfect. Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, all these big name superstars that you see in the NHL, and past ones like Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, they're not perfect. So, why do people think that rookies, under already having a lot of pressure coming into the NHL and trying to perform for their team and for their fan base, to be perfect? Because nobody's perfect. And the rookies are going to contribute. They will contribute one way or another, whether it's physically, offensively, defensively, or just being there for the team. And that's expected. every rookie, or in his case, NHL newcomer, goes through that learning curve. The key is how quickly you adjust, and so far he's doing just that. And let's not overlook the locker room factor. Coming over from Russia, a new language, new culture, that's a lot to handle. Because he just learned English like a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. But from everything we've heard, the Hurricanes locker room has made that transition very smoothly. The culture in Carolina is a big reason players succeed in Carolina. So looking ahead, what is the ceiling for Nikishin this season? If he keeps trending this way, top 4 defenseman by the end of the season. Maybe even a key piece in the playoff run. And top 4 defenseman doesn't mean like a top guy, like a top 4 guy in the whole league. That just means like a top 4 guy in Carolina's system. Like better than Riley, better than not career-wise, but and maybe not season-wise, but possibly better than Gossespierre, and probably better than Chatfield. Definitely not career-wise, because a lot of our defensemen are, veterans, and he's there, and he's ready to make some noise. Hurricanes fans should be excited. This might be another home run addition for the franchise. And I've just always liked his production. I watched a couple games in the KHL when he was there, and I watched some tape from him, and I watched all of him in the KHL before he even came over into the NHL. I just think he's been very, very contributive. He's one of those guys that you can kind of rely on. And especially going forward into his career. Like, he's only a rookie. And yes, maybe there were some trade talks that we would give him up for whatever, but I'm just glad that we were able to get him and just, be able to draft him and call him over, and just Rod is able to look him in the eyes and say, I need everything from you, and he's able to do that on a nightly basis. That's what some fans on a lot of NHL teams don't even realize, that coaches and rookies, they're just don't have the strongest connection because they haven't been there, obviously the longest, and they haven't been there to build relationships. But Alexander Nikishin has just been so welcomed into Raleigh, and he's just been so amazing for Carolina, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he's able to do in the future and moving forward and going into the playoffs. And I'm just super excited for what he has to offer for like his whole NHL career. And after years of anticipation, Alexander Nikishin has officially adapted to the Hurricanes, and honestly, it's looking better than anyone expected. The transition from the KHL captain to NHL rookie is never easy, especially in Brendan Moore's demanding system. But by March of 2026, Nikishin wasn't just surviving, he was making history. He set the Hurricanes/Whalers franchise record for goals by a rookie defenseman, passing names like Justin Falk. That's not a typo, folks. That's a rookie defender scoring 9-10 goals in his debut season. we knew he was big at 6'4", but his ability to close gaps and deliver thunderous hits has translated perfectly to the smaller NHL ice. Nikishin has stepped in as a top 4 defender, playing in high leverage situations, including scoring a shorthanded goal against the Blue Jackets and adding a primary assist in his NHL debut. He didn't come alone. Working with veterans like Gostisbehere and receiving guidance from Svechnikov on the nuances of North American life, and has been massive, allowing him to feel comfortable asking what to do before faceoffs. He told reporters just making history is special, which he conveyed through teammate Andrei Svechnikov. He started hot, stayed consistent, and he's clearly the anchor the Hurricanes needed on the left side to complement Jacob Slavin, the Nikishin era. And Carolina is officially here, and it is going to be a fun one to watch for the next few years. His performance is like a prolific scorer from the blue line. He recorded 9+ goals by March of 2026. A style, physical, defensive presence, 4+ hits and blocks with a high-end shot. Successfully adapted to Rod Brendamore's fast-paced, high-pressure system, and has gotten tremendous help from Svechnikov and other guys around the locker room, like adapting defensively, and Svechnikov helping him translate and learn English and helping us understand him and just doing the best that both of those guys can. And not even to mention that Svechnikov has been on fire recently. 3 power play goals in his last 3 games. And we play the Islanders tonight. And the Islanders probably might be starting David Riddick, because the Islanders played the Flyers yesterday, and Flyers kind of dominated the Islanders. I think it was a 4-1 victory, and Ilya Sorokin was in net. So, yeah, might be David Riddick, might be Sorokin. Patrick Wall would be kind of dumb to start Sorokin again, especially this close to playoffs, and because you don't want to waste your goalie's energy or risk him getting hurt, or any of your players getting hurt or anything like that this close to the end of the season and the playoffs. That's what Carolina has kind of struggled with kind of recently, like the past few years, with defenseman injuries mainly. And a couple years ago, Jesper Fast breaking something in his collarbone or neck and causing him to medically retire from the NHL. But now he is a player development coach for the Hurricanes, so that's good to see. And just Jalen Chatfield's injury last year, and just a whole bunch of injuries. Injuries suck, and we just got to kind of live through them, and just kind of, if we do have any injuries, knock on wood we don't, but Yoel Nystrom's looking pretty good. He had a pretty decent year this year in the NHL and in the AHL Chicago. And Charlie Corrado, who is a forward out of either Maine or Penn State. I can't exactly remember. I think he's in Maine, from Maine University. But that will wrap up today's episode of Inside the Storm. Let me know what you think. Has Nikishin lived up to the hype? And will he live up to the hype and just really just keep performing like he always has and always will But as always, stay loud, stay proud, cause chaos, and let's go Canes.